Yes, we're nearly into the overtime here on the Sports Show. I hope you can stay with us for the next 5 or 6 minutes. Got to talk about the showdown. It's a big event always here in Adelaide. Of course, Saturday, the big showdown. Ken Hinkley made a statement after the loss, of course, on the weekend. The previous weekend they beat Geelong. Yeah. Came out and said he's lost trust in the group. Yeah. Is that a risky thing to say to the group? Do the group then go, well, mate, we've lost trust in you as well?
No, I think it's an honest thing to say.
Honest appraisal?
Yeah, I think it's an honest appraisal. He's always been a really honest coach, a real upfront. Put it this way, mate, when I interview Ken Hinkley, whenever I interview Ken Hinkley, I always ask Ken, mate, is there anything in particular you would like me to ask you? And he says the same thing every time. You ask me what you like, Bass. I've got no issue with whatever you are. So he'll tell you how it is.
So he's an open book?
Absolutely, but he's a very honest person.
Hard on the sleeve?
This is exactly right, because he loves the club. He loves Port Adelaide, and he loves the players. But I think he would have got look, I interviewed him after the game.
So he's an angry adult after the game, mate, nearly as much as the angry coach.
It's one of the hardest things to do for me.
It's hard for the coach. It's hard for anyone to interview after the game.
I think we're still one of the only clubs that come up and does an aftermatch, where the coach will come up and talk to the supporters, and so do a rostered group of players.
Okay, so let me ask you this: we're not there, because he's done his media interview. Now this one's for the fans that are there. How do you reckon? What was your feeling after the game on where he was? Was he gutted?
Yeah, he was
with
absolutely
the performance.
Gutted.
You can be gutted with a loss. You can be disappointed with a loss.
I think he was. he was like me, and I was livid with it. I really did not like that at all.
Are you livid because you're shocked based on the way they performed the week before?
Well, my point is, Phil, that I don't see that as the Port Adelaide I grew up barracking for.
Okay.
That never happened in my time.
Yeah, okay.
So where are we? What are we doing? I mean, you put two games together like that. The Geelong game?
Yep.
Brilliant. Beat anybody.
Yep.
Then 1 week after.
Well, they've been that way probably since April, though, haven't they? They've been inconsistent. Win a game, lose a game, win a game, lose a game.
I'd say more like the last 3 years. You know, what's happening is, mate, you're winning games that you're not supposed to win, and then you are getting flogged by teams who you should beat. That's the issue with the club at the minute. You know, we make a lot of changes, and it comes off against Geelong, and everything looks great, and then the following week, whoa, what is that? What was that? Now, I know conditions can bring you back to the field, and I'm not taking anything away from the Bulldogs. They were very good, and also the Bontempelli, was brilliant.
Oh, he's a special player.
Well, I think he's one of the best in the league. And looking at him on the weekend,
into the group, wouldn't you?
Look at him on the weekend. He was clean, and he killed Port Adelaide.
He's probably the barometer for them.
He killed them. He killed us. But Kenny gutted. I think the whole club was gutted by it, because then you look at the chance to, I think, go to fifth on the ladder, cement your little spot in the 8. Everything was perfect.
Yeah, it shows resilience in the group too, and a bit of belief comes back in, and then suddenly we take off.
As a non-supporter, you look at it and you go, hang on a minute.
It's hard sitting on the outside, because you don't know what Ken and the other coaches and the leadership group are trying to put in place. Certainly they've addressed it, and maybe they just haven't nailed it right at the moment. Battling with some injuries, players going up and down. You know, Charlie came back, you get a lift with that, but then you lose Westhoff and Ryder out the other end. So it's hard to know without sitting with Ken and going, give me an overview of the season or the previous season to nail it down to 2 or 3 things. So I think they're still wading their way through that.
He would say inconsistency, and he has said this a number of times. When you've got half a dozen players who've played less than 20 games, this is going to happen. This inconsistency is going to happen.
Happens in every sport. The only thing is you're exposed more with in the AFL. I want to ask you about Sam Jacobs, because they're up against the Crows. Sam Jacobs has won a couple of showdown medals.
My word, good player.
Just sitting, playing really well in the SANFL at the moment. Is he likely, you think, to get a game? Or you think he's still sitting on the edge? Just the fact that he's good in the big games. This is a big game. Would you bring him back? Now, let's assume for a moment that they don't bring him back in. And you're over here being Sam Jacobs, you're going, well, I'm starting to read the tea leaves here. Doesn't look like you're needing me. Gee, I reckon I've got 2 or 3 good years left in me. There'd be a few clubs that would have their lines in the water having a bit of a chat, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I think they would be.
Because he's a great team man, a great player. Players love him. Gets people around him playing better.
Yeah, and I think he'll play.
You think he'll play? Westhoff? Well, Westhoff, because Westhoff's a big Showtime medalist.
I think Westhoff will play as well. Look, I think Port Adelaide will probably bring back Howard and Amon. They were both suspended. Both played well in their games against Geelong, so they'll come back. They'll come back in in the side, he'll make some changes. You can't get away with a performance.
Let's get into the crystal ball then. We're going to crystal gaze. We can speculate on who's in and out because we're recording this a bit before that we know the teams. Is it a Crows win or a Power win? Now, based on win a game, lose a game, win a game, lose a game, Power should win. Yeah. Crows have been pretty consistent up until last week, but everyone knows Geelong are tough at
oh, my word, they are. Yeah.
So, which way do you see it going?
I think that the Crows will be have got the better forward line.
Yep.
I think they've got a more potent midfield, and I think their defence is a lot better. So Port by 8.
Always rational. That's what I like about you, mate. No emotion attached at all to Barry Curtin's last statement. Hope you've enjoyed the show, everybody. Look forward to your company next week. Bye for now.